in their fantastic Community Explorers program. Round of applause. Be here every meeting if that's possible, because I need my popcorn and my water. But if not, I really appreciate it, you guys. Ooh, okay,
and not to steal thunder. The CEP students are here in our building once or twice a week with their cafe. Sometimes there's just adult staff here, and sometimes there are other professional learning meetings. There's other adults in the building that are step into them, and we enjoy their presence here. And if we take a look at their curriculum and what we're trying to engage these students in, it's life skills, it's work skills. And the ability to come in here and operate a cafe and interact with the professionals in this building, they are developing and demonstrating tremendous skills to that process. So it's enjoyable to have them in the building. And I'm also going to tell them that they came in first place in the Scarecrow contest. Congratulations. So we have a presentation report tonight, and that's going to came into the district of July 1st. It feels like she's been here a lot for just a few months now. She's hit the ground running, but she's been part of it. Fits in so nicely, not just in special education, but in all elements. And I grown in just a matter of days when she first started to really trust it. Think of her as a valued member of my team. And I'm excited to see her, so she's going to present that special tonight to you.
Very professional.
Created, but I just want to highlight something information. So we found, we had a good start to the year. There's a lot going on, especially with the implementation of the new computer-based program for IDPs that was able to on July 1st. So that has really been a lot of what has been happening in special education because the state. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. There's been some bumps in the road with the program, and we're learning every day how to adjust and make sure that we are doing what we need to do. Teachers are doing what they're doing. And I'll talk a little bit more about that. Our rates of identification have increased, and I think how I'm not sure how it was reported in the past, but last year it was 250 students, and this year we're at 280 students. That's including students that are at the high school level, as well as our other districts. We are seeing increased numbers of special education students being referred and also our preschool program also growing. We have right now from parents. We are though getting closer to last year. Learning about the model years, but we're very close to 50%. So actually, our program is at 50% model classrooms. And our pre-K program is at 41.5%. We're really close. So just a couple more model years and we'll be at that kind of state expected 50%. So we've invested a lot of time in the past. So prior to me here at social emotional well-being for our students or families and us. However, we have been seeing an increase in student behavior across the district as well. So it's something that we are working on with our social workers, our DCA team, our behavior team. We still have the relationship with the Oxford Wellness Center, which is really helpful in terms of crisis. But we are kind of in the process of this contract is ending and looking for other support sites. So that's something that we're going to be exploring through the budget process with many different options that we have to support that. The special education department will continue to, we had an increase this year are paraprofessionals. I will like to add, so the finance director made a little bit more information today. And we are right where we should be in terms of the budget for paraprofessionals. We are right at the mark that was projected. So it is a little bit different than this report. We are seeing an increase from last year, but we are ensuring that our lines are based across our independence and generalized. Part of the new program for the state, CT says, make sure that we kind of look at ways to paid supports so that we can develop, very independent students and maximize their outcomes. On page 3 of the report is just our current numbers in terms of for special education as well as our students by disability. My math was wrong. So we have 18 special education teachers, right? We do have 3 school psychologists and we have 1 physician. We are working very hard to try to get into ways to get school psychologists. We reached out to the university. We are posting it many different ways, but unfortunately we haven't had that position. And then we have 43 paraprofessionals, so this is different that are special education paraprofessionals, 3 kindergarten paraprofessionals. So we're at 46. It's never a decision you want to make in the first week of school to have to move a teacher from one school to another. Unfortunately, we had to do that this year. We didn't have to increase enrollment at the school. So we moved. You can look. We did an analysis, Linda and I, the students, the student caseloads, the hours. We looked at it in many different ways, and it made the most sense to move a teacher from grade elementary to the middle school. And the numbers, just in number of students, there is quite a few. So a little bit more information on CTSAC. So on July 1st, the State Department of Education and the Bureau of Special Education had a new state IEP program. They call it CTSAC. It was designed to issues with it, but the team is working really well to get to those. There's also a new and improved document. So so we're sharing that information at this time. During the workshop, 11 of our staff received expert tutors. So we have at least 1 in each building that will support everybody in the building to get to that. We are also on call, and that's pretty much what we're doing a lot of the day is going through and helping get to IEPs. The state is also providing access to the rest. So the department help us through those coaches as well.
We have some questions. So the IEPs, obviously they're updated yearly. So when the IEP is updated, and that is that will be updated, or will it be updated in triennial?
That's a great question. So actually, if the triennial falls before the annual, it will go into the new system. If they happen at the same time, it will obviously go into the new system. But all new IEPs, if it's not a triennial year, will go into at the annual. So the new IEP will happen at the annual.
So it will take a year, at least a year, probably more in order for this whole rollover to be, complete.
Yes. And we had to start a little bit early and just move from out of state. That's my little the out of state right IEP that the new 30-day. So yes, it's going to take till the end of the year to get everybody in the system. So in terms of support staff, creating a full site for our faculty to access. This includes all of the training videos, relevant information to the program and supports or guidance provided by the state department. They can log right into the full site and it's kind of organized in a way that if they have questions about higher ed, all of the information there. I also send a weekly newsletter that has all of the media from the state, so that the staff has it immediately. So we send out also our calls anytime that we hop on. Meets together, trying to figure out lots of supports that then come. And all of our staff are currently another training. The state rolls out not only the new system, but they're also quality training. So all of our staff are participating in quality training. They will understand how to develop quality and compliant IEPs. And we just tested it. We're having some issues with our parent portal. We just tested it, so I'm going to be reaching out to families in the next week to schedule some trainings for the parent now to access information for their students if they choose it. It's our choice. The next thing I want to say is specialized programs. We did have a new program that we ended last year. So we have a specialized program now at every grade level. We have the elementary comprehensive learning program. This program that is at Quaker Farms. It has a high result ratio, but that's really supporting. And a lot of our students have we help with developing communication skills through alternative devices. So there's that really in like focus on what those students. So that's the program that has a little bit more well, or actually a lot of our students have the general education classroom, which has been really well received. The new program that I just mentioned is the comprehensive program at the middle school. Right now it's a lower student population, but they are working really hard to find out what the foundational skills of that program are. In essentially elementary programs that continue with services. And their schedule includes a mix of visualized instruction for curricular year, as well as the life skills. We are working at the elementary program that would support our connections program at the high school did undergo a pretty major change. So last year it was 2 teachers and a social worker. We decreased the program to 1 special education teacher and the social worker hired now supports the whole high school, including the connections program. They did really well for this reduction. We are going to check in. The daily schedule has been developed to address the teacher and combination of staff and students so receive their core instruction throughout the day. They're using the tasks that are. And then the last program is the highlights our program, which are joining us today. So some of the highlights, they have new job sites ready to go. So we have the Sudbury School of Performing Arts, the Brattsville and the Oxford Public Library. They've also been working as well as at the curriculum. We also just recently adopted a new curriculum, assessment as well as lessons aligned to developmental goals. Just to highlight some of the special education department goals. Our initiative is implementing CT sets and making sure all of our staff are comfortable and parents understand that change. Through professional development, we're really going to strengthen those specialized programs and ensure that we have the appropriate and necessary things in place to be supported those programs through the various stages, including looking at the curriculum and developing consistency and coherence from each of the programs. We really want it to be continuum of services and not segmented. There's this elementary program, there's a middle school program, there's a high school program. We really want it to be fluid across all of them. And then the other component that we continue to focus on learning for students. So it's in a really great place right now. So we're tuning and growing to maximize. In terms of development, I'm working to create special education stakeholders, of teachers across the buildings, making it programming, and have a support everybody. And then what's going on, what's going well, what's actually today was the first day we implemented effective practices with paraprofessionals, paraeducators training that will last from school year. It was grant funded by Cedar and provides 4 modules. I'm going to be very soon sending an email about our training opportunities, trying to get some insight of what parents are in need of in terms of technology, IEPs, PPT meetings, and then reviewing and recommending social media. That's an option to them. There are a couple of identified needs that we that I have seen since July 1st. We are doing really well with that structure. We have to also focus on special materials for specialized instruction in math, increasing job shadowing opportunities for our high school students, so that we are kind of working with actually see if there's opportunities that overlap. We have a lot of students in case of transition goals that need some different job shadowing opportunities that overlap. Defining mathematics versus animal courses for the high school and middle schools, and we have animal courses. What are the expectations? Curriculum and schools. And finally, and analyzing what our supports are, where we need schools for supports or kind of shift to make sure everyone's getting what they need.
I do have one question. Investigate specialized instruction programs and resources for men. So, just elaborate on what that means.
Sure. So we have mathematics throughout the district, but when it comes to special resources are different ways to teach. So we're seeing that there's a little bit of a lack in that type of work. So just investigating different things at different levels that we need. For instance, the touch math is something that could be implemented at the younger level if that's instruction, but getting more of those specific types of resources.
Would our math coaches be able to help out with that, or would it have to be delivered by a special education teacher? Or maybe that's what you investigate.
Yeah, I think we can have a conversation. Sometimes I find math coaches don't know about some of these specialized programs. That's something to have a district conversation on because they could be professional.
Right. Okay, that was my question. Go ahead, Nicole.
Hi, thank you for being here tonight. I had a question about page 3. You have the chart with the students by disability. And one of the lines is SLDD. I assume that's specific learning disability dyslexia. And that shows that there's 13 identified students in the entire district. I was always under the impression that just statistically that 5 to 10% of the student population is dyslexic. But we only have 13 identified. Are we not checking the box, or I'm wondering where the disparity is there?
So I think the dyslexia has been kind of added to that a little bit later on. So I do think or suspect that some of it is because they were identified before that component was available. So it is a process of looking at that multidisciplinary evaluation report and making sure that we are addressing all. So when we're doing a reevaluation, making sure that we're looking at that component. The nice thing too is that the state has updated those documents, and it makes it a lot more specific for us to gather the information and make that choice of whether it's dyslexia. So we're actually, our staff, our reading specialists are engaging the staff in training on how to use those new documents and what data they're looking for to build evaluations to make sure we have the data to make that decision.
The reason I bring it up is because I know that we have 2 highly trained Wharton Gillingham specialists in district. And I know they're also in high demand. So identifying who needs that is probably really important, and 13 just seems like a low number to me.
Yeah, I would agree. I think we need to do some more evaluations, making sure that we're special for reading that is.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Vic.
I guess my question is, thank you. Is SLD part of SLDD? Because there's 90 people in that category, and when I look at the terminology, that's dyslexia also. So is there a separation there of versus another?
There is. So specific learning disability actually encompasses not only a reading disability, it could be a mathematics disability or a writing disability. So when we're suspecting a specific learning disability, we have to determine which type of disability it is. Dyslexia is a little bit different because it does have its own category, which is newer in the state of Connecticut. It's actually one of the only states that has that differentiation between dyslexia and not. So when we're filling out the paperwork, we have to look at the different areas and determine which type of disability it is, again, whether it's reading, math, or writing. If it is reading, we do have to dig a little bit deeper to identify whether it's a mixed reading disability, which is a mix between a phonics or code-based disability and comprehension. If it's that code-based phonics, which would be the dyslexia, or if it's a comprehension-based. So the new documentation that's been rolled out will really pinpoint which type of reading disability. So we'll have a more clear diagnosis or eligible to have.
That's more focused.
Yes.
Next question. Go ahead, Shelley.
Just a quick one. So, what do we have to offer students who do have as you mentioned, a code-based reading disability? I know that we have your Healing Cabinet and Wilson for any students that might have challenges with that. Do we have other programs to speak to that disability?
Those I would say are the two main programs that we like. I like to look at early start. But we're also really like, so those are the two that are being special center. We also have actually we've been trying our special education and then our reading specialist also programming. So there are many different
Sounds like you have.
yeah, we really focus on. I'm a person that wants to make also just really analyzing what the data is, what's the best fit for that student for that.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Megan? No, I'm sorry. Yeah, you can ask her personally. So everyone's good? All right, well, thank you so much, Megan, and thank you to our
Thank you.
CPD. Nice job. Action item 7 is approval of snow removal bid.
So we went out to bid for snow removal or with Nature's Edge at the end of last winter. So we were going to this fall or this winter needing to renew a contract with a company. So we went out to bid with 2 companies, put an RFP in last week. We reviewed both of them. They are attached inside of the executive content inside of Board Docs. The recommendation that we are putting forward is for Nature's Edge, which is a 3-year contract, valued at $88,000 year 1, $90,000 year 2, and $92,000 year 3. And then year 1 cost is significantly less than the other companies' year 1 costs.
I have a question. I mean, besides the dollar amount, was there a difference in service that the higher price company was looking to provide? I mean, it's a large difference, but so I'm wondering, is it just?
Not substantial. I mean, the bid specified exactly what it is that we're looking for.
Okay.
Yeah, it's huge difference. Okay. So do you have a motion, Deb? Or does anybody else have any questions about that?
I just was thinking the same thing. But it is what it is.
So this requires a motion, Robert?
It does, it requires, so this was it's a formal bid, it requires board approval to accept the bid recommendation from.
So motion to approve and accept Nature's Edge bid recommendation
For snow removal.
for snow removal.
Second.
Second from Mike. Any further discussions or questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed or abstained? Motion carries. Acceptance of gifts from Parks and Rec.
So Parks and Rec has requested that we accept 2 gifts, one being a volleyball net for middle school, and the second for scoreboard installation at Greater Elementary School. The value of these, since they are gifts to the school, they become basically property within the school, would require a board approval for those sets of gifts. So I'm bringing forward to the board for approval of these 2 gifts.
Okay, does anybody have any comments about that? No? All right, do you want to do the motion?
Do we have a total amount of what the gift is?
Yes, so the installation cost for the scoreboard is $600. The cost for the volleyball net is $33.26 to $3,326. The cost for the scoreboard is $8,160.
Want me to add that?
And that's it, right? That's it, yeah.
12,086. Is my math. Maybe Ben can check this. I have some math for you to do, Ben.
12,086.
8, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 4, 12.
Okay. Motion to accept the Park and Rec gifts totaling $12,086.
Second.
Any further discussion or questions?
I just want to say thank you.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you.
I think it highlights the part. Now, and they do help contribute to our facilities. We provide the facilities that they use, and our students actually take advantage of their services. So there's a synergy there. So thank you.
Very much appreciated.
Thank you.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed or abstained? Motion carries. There you go. Yeah. Good luck.
I can help you.
Good luck. Okay, bye-bye. Dr. Miller, your report?
Okay. So this morning I sent out an invitation to youth for 2 events. First being Veterans Day celebration, which is for the high school, Friday morning, which is Veterans Day. This is the same event that our teacher, Mr. Becca, has done the past couple of years. It's going to be outside the school. It's getting cold, so wear some jackets. But veterans are invited. There's baked goods and coffee, teas out that the Carter has put together. There'll be live music from students, and it's an opportunity to mingle and share our thoughts and recognition to the veterans that come by. The invitation to that was also sent to our first selectman and to the board selectman in case anybody from the board would like to attend as well. But the invitation is open to all of you. Some of you have been able to come before, some of you are unable to come because of work, but the invitation is open to all of you. And Stephanie and I had this conversation, about our Thanksgiving football game, which this year is being hosted in Derby. They traditionally have done an event, they traditionally have played against Shelton. This year they were playing against us. They typically have had a hosted lunch the day before for the students, and then a breakfast the next morning before the game for whatever teachers, administrators that like to go to have breakfast together before the game, and then there's an open invitation to the game afterwards. We would like it this year not to participate in the lunch beforehand, but to participate in the breakfast that morning. And if this becomes a tradition, we could fold in additional events later on. But just the logistics were just kind of getting away from the day beforehand. So I also included in my email to you this morning, the invitation to that breakfast. That invitation is also passed to get to the game a little bit later. If you already attended the breakfast, I ask that you RSVP to the email that's on that flyer. I do believe that George Devil will be attending, that's so to me. And the board of the invitation, the board of selectmen, board of finance, and our administrative team, cheerleaders, and the 200 coaches are also invited to that. I don't know when we're going to go, but you are invited to attend that.
And just to clarify, this could have been a third event, because obviously it used to be Derby Shelton.
Yes.
It was the big game, and it was the Derby Shelton Rotary that used to host the luncheon. So I think that's probably, unless that was a totally different event, I think that, and obviously, because it's the Derby Shelton Rotary, they're not gonna host it for,
Right.
Oxford, which makes sense. So
Right.
I'm thrilled that we're going to this breakfast. I think it's great for our kids to, break bread. with-
Well, our kids are not going to be there, though. Yeah, our kids are not going to be there. Our kids are not going to be there.
Oh, no?
No, so it's just for the adults, the breakfast, and the cheerleaders. So the kids are prepared for the game beforehand. Yes. Yeah. The lunch the day beforehand. Yes. So if it's become a tradition that we're planning to play against them in future years, that we will grow this to a bigger set of events for the students.
Yeah, that'd be
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Um,
Thank you.
Next Wednesday evening, I will be in Hartford for the State Teacher of the Year celebration. Superintendents and the district's Teacher of the Years are invited to walk across the stage and recognized. So I will be there with our Teacher of the Year, Nicole Janopoulos from high school, celebrating her as Teacher of the Year for the district. And next Friday, the CAPS CAVE conference presenting on district communications. So I'm excited that I was accepted to present at the conference. I will be at the district on that day presenting to superintendents and board members. So I'm excited about that. Athletically, we have had a great past week. Our swim team, our girls swim and dive team, they came in second place in the NPL tournament and are now competing at the state level. Our girls volleyball, they already won a playoff game. So I believe that they play again tomorrow evening. And our girls soccer team won the NPL championships last week. They are currently undefeated. They're 19. They play tomorrow. The game was originally scheduled for 2. We got to go to 6 o'clock because it was interfering with the end of the school day and also impacting parents that would like to go to the game. So given at 6 p.m., we are hosting it. We were provided a first round bye, so we didn't know until today who we would be playing. We're going to be playing Immaculate. I talked to our teachers or coaches today, and they were busy watching video tape of the team that they're playing against. But they're excited. I did have to attend.
This is the state tournament.
This is the state tournament, so they received the first round bye. If we win the game tomorrow, which hopefully we do, we'll host a second NPL, our second state championship game Friday night. The next game will be still 2 days of rest there. So that's exciting. We are charging admission for the game, which is not traditional for soccer, but it's something that is typically done at this level with the NPL tournament and the state championship playoff series. So the next game, the Friday night game, that's determined by the state, and we don't get any of that revenue. They get the money that we take tomorrow go back into our program. In terms of curriculum, I had let you know that we applied for the state science reading masterclass, which is cohort number 2. They first did this in the spring and the summertime, which is funded through state grants, which is not program-based, but around the concept of reading instruction. So we decided that we wanted to apply for it. It was limited in terms of what districts would apply the first round. We wanted to apply and get into it, knowing that we're changing the reading program for next year. There's a lot of districts that have K-12, K-5, 6-12 language arts specialists that are in the district that are working purely on either reading, in some cases writing, in some cases combined. We don't necessarily have that in this district. So I thought there'd be a lot of working at this level. And this cohort provides access to national experts on the science of reading. what it's going to be, and we actually got accepted yesterday. So we are one of, I believe, 12 districts that are part of this cohort. They've taken districts that are similar to each other and mixed it and brought this cohort together. So we're mixed with districts that are similar to ours. We're working with them. So there's 5 days over the course of the year that will be off-site for a full day, working with the cohort. And then online modules that we'll be asked to do in between those sessions. So the first day is November 30th, and that's going to be focused on literacy, 101 for leaders, knowledgeable awareness. The second day is January 10th, which is around phonics and word recognition. And then February 10th, which is vocabulary and language comprehension. May 2nd, which is skilled reading, comprehension and fluency. And then June 7th, which is our collective experience with the science of reading. And then in between that there'll be work that we're expected to do. It's all designed around building the leadership capacity within. And also they're supposed to be then sending people our way locally here to help us with embedded coaching with our staff as well. So I'm excited about it. You know, our staff have been asking for professional learning. This gives us an opportunity to go beyond what we're trying to do. And once again, it's not focused really on a specific program, but more on how do we improve our reading instruction. If we take a look at our assessment scores, there are things that we can do to help improve the work that we're doing, getting better results for our students and growing within the district. In terms of who's going to be involved with this process, this is a requirement that the superintendent is involved, so I have participated in all these activities. We will also be having the director of instruction, director of special education. We'll be having a principal or an administrator from each school, elementary schools and the middle school.
All out on the same day?
One of each, not everybody's out. Okay.
So the whole team doesn't.
The whole team has to participate.
So for 5 days, you're
Okay,
out,
yes.
Megan,
Yeah.
the principals?
Yes.
The vice principals will be there.
Or vice versa?
Yes. When a principal is out of the building, typically there's a teacher in charge that has to go out to that's left in the building. Yeah.
You'll be in charge, Pam.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Oh, gosh.
So we are 5 days. We still make it's a big commitment, but it will really help drive our program.
And then the expectation is that, so obviously sending those people, then you would be the facilitators of, helping the staff, whatever you learn from there, then you would be.
Right. We're expecting, we set the finalized actual team that's going, we gave a rough draft of the team. We set the finalized internally, but there are also a couple of teachers that are also involved in the process.
November 30th.
We're not telling anybody, again, we're not publishing those dates. Yeah,
Yeah.
I got them written down, I'll send it to you.
Right, so it's a huge commitment. It's a huge commitment, but the outcome of it's going to be pretty substantial what we're able to do. So I'm excited that we applied and got accepted assessment.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And that is my report.
Any other questions for Rose? Now it's my report, and I'm going to defer my time to Pam, who missed audience of citizens, and Mr. Homewood, if you would like to ask a question. So I will give up my report for that. Hello.
Ben's father in this program. I have a very simple question. There's been some, we get some of the registration. Would it be 10 passenger versus an 8 passenger? It's been like 7 months. Is there any, because I think it's crucial to their.
Absolutely.
I can give an update to that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I can give you an update. Essentially what happened is that the town realized the day before school started that the license plate that they gave us when the vendor first got it was not the right license plate. So the license plate needed to be pulled off, and we needed to go through a whole registration process with the DMV. That required that they had to come on site and actually do a safety inspection of the van, and they found some things that they wanted us to fix. We've addressed those. They needed to come back and re-inspect it. We've now gone through that process. And we are supposed to have a scheduled appointment now with the DMV. I believe it's the 30th of November where we actually need to go to DMV and actually complete the registration process. We're really close now, but it's been an extended process, and some of it is getting the inspector from DMV out here, and some of it is getting a scheduled appointment with actually going to DMV to do that step. Yeah.
Sorry about the delay. We know how important it is, yeah. Of course. Yeah. Right, right. All right, thank you.
Thanks for your question.
Was probably one of the first ones that we really worked well vertically with all of our teachers. And it was really important to our program because we have basically 3 new teachers in the district. And for them to be able to sit with Bethany and I to get that vertical alignment and to also reassure them that they are fabulous teachers. They're already doing it. We just have to put it in the correct words and know that they're helping us in the long run, teaching the kids by the time they get to high school. And the second thing is that you mentioned we're going to be doing the Veterans Day celebration at the school. Unfortunately, we had tried to get a hold of the American Legion for quite some time. We just kept on crisscrossing. We finally got a hold of the American Legion. They're having their celebration in the morning this year, and it crisscrosses with ours. And I have been talking to Anthony about this. In my heart and in Dave's heart, we want to do something like that. And the kids have been working so well. We have posters hanging in the West Haven Veterans Hospital now. And we have people that will come to that will be coming back to our celebration this year as they did in the past. But unfortunately, Veterans Day is it's one day. And really, Veterans Day should be every day. I was talking to Dave and Anthony about this. I would really like to see like a meeting dinner the night. This way, you can invite veterans and their families, and they can enjoy dinner. They can still enjoy all our kids singing. They can hear the poetry these kids are writing. They can see the art the kids create for them. So next year, I hope that it's a little bigger, a little better, and not as complicated and just crossing with other things.
With one day. And we have culinary could do the dinner.
Yes, and we talked.
And CEP can do the snacks.
You know, it's like we can get more people involved with it being the evening at the high school there when we're doing it. And it also doesn't interrupt the educational day.
Right.
You know, grabbing kids out.
Yeah, yeah.
You
No, it's a great idea.
Absolutely.
Of course.
It's still a bump in the road.
Right.
But I just wanted to say, this year, today's PD was awesome.
Good. Good to hear.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Pam.
Pam.
Okay, subcommittee reports, facilities, Joe.
The only thing that I think about for facilities is that Deb and I attended the joint finance, board of finance and board of selectmen meeting last night to address 2 issues. One was the fire rescue truck, not ours, but for the fire department, and then the HVAC project for Grado. They approved the project, they approved the funding, the board did. They approved by approval of the application to the state. And then it's supposed to go back to the board of selectmen. There's a special meeting that's been set for 4 p.m. tomorrow afternoon now to discuss the actual specs, whether or not they want to go with the AirTech or if they want to go with the Johnson Control approach to develop the RFP. I may not be able to attend that meeting. Is somebody else able to attend if I can go?
When is it?
4 p.m. tomorrow.
I think I'm washing my hair. Oh,
No, I think I can go. I can try.
and it's at central office,
It's at Town Hall.
town hall. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can go.
Just one other thing that came out of last night is, they talked about funding the $8,000 for the schematics. And they want to take that out of the balance that's left that was left in the Great Oak Committee money, which we asked, and Rob mentioned again last night to not use that money for anything else but to fix our bathrooms. And I don't know how that'll pan out, but,
And I put on record.
$8,000 out of the 104 that's left over that we could use towards bathroom repairs. So,
That's terrible.
it was a
Now,
conversation.
is that something that's gonna be decided tomorrow, or tomorrow is a special meeting?
Tomorrow is a special meeting for them to talk again about the fire rescue truck and about the HVAC project. It's the same motion, it's the same agenda items that they had listed for last night. They were supposed to talk about it last
For 2
week.
years.
They were supposed to talk about it last week, they were supposed to talk about it last night. Now it seems they punted it tomorrow. It seems like they're not taking, their actual recommendations from the building committee as to what they brought forward. Now they're going to discuss amongst themselves what direction they want to go.
Why do you have a building committee, and why do you then invite us to go to building committee meetings? And okay, well, hopefully something happens tomorrow. I'll let you know.
Okay.
Meet Deb and I. So nothing else, Joe? Thank you for that report, Joe.
No, I would like to welcome, like D'Agostino, I think it's going to be a.
Yes, yes, absolutely.
Look forward to that.
Curriculum, so we moved our meeting from this week to November 15th. We have the middle school and the high school schedules to discuss. We are also going to talk about some website updates, so if anybody has any suggestions with that.
Is there any way to make the staff email?
It's there. It's under each school. You have to go to the school and look. Yeah, it's there, but if anybody has any suggestions on, website stuff, just pop me an email and let me know. But that's about it for curriculum. We'll meet on the 15th.
Mike?
Honestly, finance doesn't have an update except our next finance subcommittee meeting is on the 15th at noon. So I guess we're just doubling up on the 15th.
Sure.
But
yeah, that's all at the moment.
And at the last meeting, the question is whether or not we could add the finance report to the board agenda. So I took that over in not the update, and I attached it to this agenda item, so you have access to it.
Okay, thank you. Nicole, policy?
Sure. So we had a policy meeting on Thursday. We covered a lot of ground in a short amount of time, which we're known for. But I think last week was the rocket docket. We covered a lot. So we have two policies to put forward for a first read. The first one is exertional heat illness awareness. Last year, the General Assembly passed a public act, and it's now been codified into law. And beginning in the 22-23 school year, the new law requires that any person who holds a coaching permit issued by the State Board of Education or who coaches intramurals or interscholastic athletics, they have to complete an exertional heat illness awareness educational program before the coaching season begins. And they must review the program annually before each coaching season. It also requires that the local and regional boards of ed implement a model exertional heat illness awareness plan. And it further requires the boards to prohibit any student athlete from participating in the programs unless the student and the student's parents have read or attended a training, like a in-person training. So they also have to sign an informed consent form, and that's issued by the Board of Ed. So this is the first step in implementing that policy. So this is our first read. Take a look at it, and we'll come back next meeting. And if you have any questions, let us know. Okay, the second one is the emergency action plan for athletic events. Again, this was a public act that's been codified into law, and it requires us, in consultation with our local emergency medical service provider and allied health professionals, to develop and implement an emergency action plan for responding to serious or life-threatening sports-related injuries that occur during our athletic events. So the policy outlines the requirements of the plan But it's up to us to be district specific, and we should be developing this with our medical professionals.
And I will also add that we knew this law was coming, and our athletic radar put these plans into place, and we added it to our emergency plan that was submitted to the state this fall.
Oh, so we've already done it?
Yes.
Okay. Anything else?
No, that's it.
Good, thank you. Liaison reports. I have something for Oasis. The month of October was focused on taking part in opioid and prescription drug awareness month. Oasis ran 4 ads in the Voices newspaper addressing these issues and encouraged participation in the DEA Prescription Drug Take Back Day and Red Ribbon Week. And Red Ribbon Week is hard to say. It's a movement to raise awareness about drug abuse. Oasis provided resources to the high school and middle school, including certificates, posters, and Red Ribbon Week wristbands at each school. They especially thank Steve Sapraxis, Grace Olbreeze, and Sylvia Olette at the middle school for making it a very big event. The kids made posters, decorated the school and themselves for the week. I'm not quite sure what that means. This all culminated with Vinnie Provenzano, who is the leader of Oasis, and his wife speaking to each class individually on Friday. And I understand that the response was very good and the talk was incredible for the middle school students. So that's what Oasis is doing.
And if you could thank him for me. Substance abuse is obviously a critical issue nationwide. We're also seeing increased use at our middle school and high school here. So him coming in was that investor, so he is saying, we have this problem, we need your help. So we acted pretty quickly to come in and put that together for us.
Yeah, they're great. It's a great organization. I will extend that. Thank you. Deb, anything?
PTO meetings on the 17th, I'll update at the next meeting.
Okay. And I think that's it for our liaisons, isn't it? Well, without further ado, I make a motion to adjourn this meeting at 7:34.
Second.
All those in favor? All right. Wow, nice job. Thank you.
Good job.